Hello folks, welcome to another episode of Tweefers Tech. Today we're going to be looking at a device that is just under a year old, and that is the original Samsung Galaxy Gear. You may recognise this watch. It has known to become with the Galaxy Note 3. There was a promotion when the Note 3 came out that you could pick one of these up for a little bit cheaper than they were actually going for. Let's be honest, £300 to £350 for a watch, or even if it is a smartwatch, is a lot of money, and a lot of people aren't willing to spend that kind of money on such a thing that we don't really need. Reason why I'm reviewing this is there's been a lot of hype around Apple, Motorola and Samsung with their smartwatches, and obviously the more recent addition, the Galaxy Gear 2 I believe, which is basically like this. The camera's a bit more hidden and it's got a more curved display. It is slightly better looking, but obviously, like I said, I'm not the kind of person that spends £300 on one of these things. So I looked around and found this one originally for 70, managed to haggle it down to get it for £60, and it is in perfect working condition, so I feel it is well worth £60 definitely. And you can see it is a pretty decent, well built device. The metal is quite solid, nice rubberized texture, and there's the camera. I just wanted to give you an idea as to whether, if you're thinking about buying one of these, whether they're worth it and what you should be looking for. Like I said, these new watches are very good looking, but unfortunately they are very expensive. And to be honest, I think this is good enough. I don't think it's something that we need in our lives, but it is a cool little toy. I've had this for about 2 months now, and I use it basically on my weekly basis. I find it quite handy because obviously it's got Bluetooth and it's got NFC. You pair it up with your Galaxy device, and I'm using a Note 3 at the moment, and sometimes I don't really want to take my phone out, especially when I'm at work. I do like having this on my possession because you do get notifications via WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, Gmail, email, and it's quite handy to have a look at. And if there's something urgent, you can take your phone out and respond to it. Also, I do like to cycle to work, and I don't have a remote on my headphones, so this comes in quite handy because it has the volume control, it has the skip, you can skip the tracks, and it does support third-party media apps like MX Player and Power Ramp and apps like that, which is quite handy. So just to give you a brief idea, I've got this currently hooked up via Bluetooth, Galaxy Note 3. You can do it via NFC. I'll just show you basically when you've got it hooked up, it's quite easy to pair up Bluetooth devices. You can see that notification there. You pull that down and it basically opens up an application dedicated to the Galaxy Gear. You have basic settings you'd expect on any Samsung device. The difference here being is you can change things like the display on the clock, so you can have a more digital one, you can have an analog one, or you can have something that represents maybe a Samsung home screen with shortcuts on the front, which is quite handy. Other settings, you can basically play around with what notifications you want. You have your basic ones here, but I do believe you can add more notifications. So if you click on more notifications, you can look at the not so obvious apps and get any of the apps that do support notifications come to your watch. See, I've ticked here Gmail, I've ticked Facebook, Twitter, etc. All those apps that we do use on a daily basis. So the app itself is quite straightforward. It's here to customize what you want on your phone, how you want the phone to look. It's quite simple to use, and there's been regular updates on this. I've had updates at least once a week for this application. But going back to the actual watch itself, when you get it out of the box, you get a micro USB charger, and you also get this interesting little looking thing. It's basically the device that charges the. I was going to say the phone, but the watch. So this goes onto like that, like so, and you basically put the micro USB charger in there. And I have been using this Monday to Friday. I've been getting at least 2.5 days time without charging it, but even after those 2 days, I've still got about 30% left. So the battery is pretty good on this thing. You can adjust the brightness, etc., like you do on other Samsung devices. But it's very easy to use. You've just got one button here. I know the newer devices have got a home button, which I would prefer, but you can make do with this. And it's a very clean interface, as you can see. You've got the media controller that will hook up to my music. Let's see if I haven't got anything at the moment. I don't know if I've got anything playing. So that's synced up to my phone at the moment. That skips tracks as well. Okay, so if you want to come out, you slide from the top to the bottom, and that takes you back to the previous screen. S Voice Commander, If you've got a Samsung, you know what that is. Just basically does commands, access your phone books, it sends text messages, weather updates, whatever you want to do. The gallery is basically pictures that are formed from the camera that you take from here. It's not the gallery from the phone, but the pictures you do take from this, it does go to your phone so you can have a look at them later on. Settings, basic settings, as I just showed you on the phone, it's pretty similar, but just more customised to the phone. Sorry, to the watch. Voice memos, we know what those are. Notifications, I just showed you the list of notifications that you receive. I don't know if it's got anything saved, but those are the ones that I use currently at the moment. And just general apps in general, it shows you what you've got: stopwatch, timer. I'm not going to go through each one of these, we know what these look like. This one here, radio on, I think it's called, I don't know if you can see that. That's basically like tuning radio, but it works specifically on this watch, which means you can skip the channels that you have saved as favourites, so it's quite a handy app to have. Oh, I don't want to do that. Contacts, shows you all the contacts on your phone. If you want to ring them, style, but I don't want to ring her. Not right now. Sorry, Andrea. And basically, it's pretty straightforward. I'll show you what other shortcuts we have. So the apps are there, the logs, the contacts, which I've just shown you. Pedometer is quite handy. It's calculating how many calories you're burning and how many steps you walk on a daily basis. It's quite an interesting thing. And this is my current display. Obviously you can change this. I thought I'd go for a classic look so it looks a bit more classier. And the media control, we'll come back to what we've done already. So the camera itself is quite easy to operate. When you're looking at the home screen originally, you just pull it down like so, and this accesses your camera. So when you've got this on, you can do some sneaky footage of someone when they're not suspecting it. You have the option to choose a camera or a camcorder, and literally just press that like so, and that should start recording. Press it again, pause. I do believe, if I went back to the gallery, let's hope it's saved. It was that one, wasn't it? Like so, and that should start recording. Right, so that works just fine. I don't really know what the specs are, what camera this has, but it does the job. You're not really going to get a good picture or good video in the night time, to be honest. It hasn't got any night vision, it hasn't got a flash, but yeah, it does the job, and I'm quite happy with it. So for the money, £60 is what I paid for it. So worst case scenario, this particular model you could pick up for £70. I wouldn't pay much more than 75 for this. I was just quite lucky, and it isn't something that I need, but I've made it something that I would like to use. It's not an essential bit of kit, it is a cool little toy, but for that money I would recommend it. If I could afford the new Gear 2, I would get it. Maybe when it goes down in price I will consider it, because I probably will get the Note 4 as well. But I think that's pretty much all I have to say on the device. If you are considering getting one, just bear in mind what I've said, and hope you do enjoy using it. But feel free to share any comments, and thanks for watching the video.